Hey, what's up guys? It's Krishna here and welcome back to the channel. So for Ultra League for Season 2 has started in Go Battle League, and I hope you guys have had a great start to the Ultra League season. I certainly have had an absolute blast on day one. It's been fantastic. And as you guys have already probably seen on the thumbnail and the title of this video, Swampert really came in super clutch for me, pulling out some really nice wins. Now, I keep changing up my teams through the course of this video. I'm going to showcase a couple of sets of battles out of the 3 sets of battles that I did today. And I'm just going to keep switching my teams just a little bit, but Swampert is going to be that common factor. It did take a little bit of time for me to get warmed up. Did make a few mistakes initially, but then slowly kind of settled in, and then we started pulling wins towards the back end. So I've got some really nice wins going into the video. So really, I hope you guys enjoy these sets of battles. So let's just get straight into this commentary right now. So we're slightly delayed on this. Yeah, my Alolan Muck has already gone down, as you guys might have seen. So this Charizard is going to be able to get off another Dragon Claw. My Swampert is getting pretty low. I'm going to overform just a little bit and then throw this Hydro Cannon right here, which should, I don't expect him to shield this because he's still got 2 full health Pokemon in the back. It's not a great situation, to be honest, at this point, because we're on even shields, and now his Swampert comes in. Although I have the energy advantage, the fact that he shields, it's really risky for me because I have my Charizard at the back, which I don't want my Charizard to go up against the Swampert, and so I'm just going to commit a shield right here and hope that he lets this go through, because I want the Swampert out of here, to be honest. But he decides to double shield. Now, it's a really tricky situation for me, and I'm going to get off this Hydro Cannon right here, hoping to get the Swampert pretty low, and then yeah, I think he's over farming. He's definitely got 2 Hydro Cannons at this point, so I definitely, I have to shield this, right? I mean, there's no way that I cannot shield this with Charizard in the back. Out comes Stoutland. This is a really good play by him. He actually switches to Stoutland to catch the charge move, which I think ended up costing me the game, because I would have loved to have the stored energy on Swampert to potentially get off that Hydro Cannon against their Swampert, because my Swampert has like 15 attacks, so it's going to win CMP in most scenarios. But at this point, I also make another mistake. I'm so greedy that I decide to farm this Stoutland down, but unfortunately, it ends up being a double KO, and his Swampert comes back and gets off this Hydro Cannon. So that was actually a pretty poor play on my part. If I'd gotten off the Dragon Claw and the Stoutland just a little before fainting, I probably would have had a Blast Burn to go against Swampert, and I think Charizard wins CMP against Swampert. And at that point, that Swampert was in Blast Burn range. So yeah, you never know. I think, yeah, I definitely misplayed that. So yeah, like I said, just warming up a little bit. It's like kind of rusty because it's been a while since I've done Ultra League, but Togekiss matchup, this is a really positive matchup. I mean, positive, I really like it, even though Charms are chunking away, because I'm running Sludge Wave on my Alolan Muck, and I'm going to be able to get it off. If it goes unshielded, it can pretty much one-shot like you just saw there, and they decide to give up the match. So I like running Sludge Wave on my Togekiss because over Gunk Shot, what am I saying? I prefer to run Sludge Wave on my Alolan Muck over Gunk Shot, simply because Sludge Wave is more, it charges up quickly. It takes about 5 snarls to get to the Sludge Wave, which I think is a lot more energy efficient, because Gunk Shot I think takes a lot of time to charge, even though I love to throw the trash can. I mean, who doesn't like it, right? The trash can, it's so hilarious, but it's such a powerful move too, but I think Sludge Wave should do. But I think this is another scenario, Alolan Muck Mirror right here, where you would prefer to have Gunk Shot. Even though that's going to be resisted, it's going to be able to hit for some heavy resisted damage, because it's, like I said, it's just such a powerful move. But in the absence of it, you just have to go, I guess, straight Sludge Waves, because that's going to do just a little more damage. So he's going to get off a Sludge Wave right here, and I make a mistake of going for another Sludge Wave. What I should have done though is I should have gone for a Dark Pulse, because he was winning CMP ties in this mirror match, and going for the Dark Pulse would have allowed me to get off another one, and basically it took 2 charge moves anyway, and I didn't have to necessarily get off the Sludge Wave. I'm just going to let it go through at this point, because there's no point shielding that up. I want to just come back in with Swampert and gain a bunch of energy, which is also a really positive situation to be in. Out comes Giratina. So I'm just going to build up to an Earthquake and try and bait with Hydro Cannon. Don't have to shield any of these moves right now, because it's not going to do a whole lot. And I'm going to bait with Hydro Cannon, hoping to get a shield. This is a very kind of it's a bait dependent matchup, but they decide to not shield. So this is not looking great. And I'm just going to throw another Hydro Cannon, hoping they shield this time, and they don't shield again. This is, yeah, this is not looking great. I'm going to have to start shielding, because those Shadow Claws are adding up, and Dragon Claws are definitely going to come close to taking me out. So this time I'm going to go straight Earthquake, right? So if he shields, but he doesn't shield. That's very interesting. And out comes Gengar. Now this is a really spicy pick right here. It's almost like the Ultra League version of Haunter, I would say. Very glossy, but hits super hard. So I decided to stay in that matchup for some reason. I was thinking I could probably get off another Hydro Cannon, but I was so wrong. I just allowed this Gengar to farm up on a bunch of energy. So I'm just going to go and throw the Dragon Claw because this Gengar is probably in Dragon Claw range. And like I said, it's so glassy. But unfortunately, we don't have any more shields. So we're pretty open to be hit by Shadow Ball right now, which does so much damage, pretty much one-shots my Charizard, and my Swampert is super low and goes down. So, like I said, a pretty rusty start to this video and to today's set of battles, but hold on, I think it's about to get, things are really about to heat up, and then Swampert is just really going to go to town from now on, I think. I think this is the battle where it starts, where I also decided to change my team up a little bit because Charizard is a fantastic Pokemon. I use it quite extensively in Ultra League, but sometimes it can be so glassy and difficult to use. Did you want something a little more tankier, like a Giratina, for example? But that's why I decided to go in with Alolan Muck on the lead, like I did in the previous game as well. So we're met with an Articuno. This is kind of an okay matchup. It's a pretty neutral matchup actually. So I'm just going to try and land the Sludge Wave, hopefully, before they get off the ICV and debuff. I probably could have gone for Dark Pulse because I know they're probably going to shield the first move because they know that once they can get off the Icy Wind, I'm going to be debuffed and they don't have to potentially shield any of the following charge moves. So I am debuffed at this point, and I'm just going to go straight Dark Pulse. I probably should, I should have done it the other way around, right? Should have gone Dark Pulse first and then gone Sludge Wave, but yeah, it does very minimal damage because we are debuffed. I'm just going to just let it go through. No point shielding this up at this point. I'll take the shield advantage. So I'm going to bring in Giratina right here because like I said, I like saving Swampert for endgame. That didn't exactly work out in the last couple of games because Charizard is really strong in endgame as well, but in this particular occasion and from matches that will follow, Swampert is going to be my closer. So just picking Giratina is going to throw the Ancient Power because even though we're debuffed, Ancient Power is double super effective against Articuno, but they decide to shield. And I'm just going to let it go through at this point and just come in with Swampert. So this is a really tricky situation, right? They've got two full health Pokemon and a little bit of Articuno, but I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon right away because I don't want to get debuffed. Because if I get debuffed, I can't even switch out to clear it. So out comes Swampert. Now, this really tells me that whatever is at the back is kind of weak to Swampert because you wouldn't just bring your Swampert into the mirror with a significant energy and shield disadvantage. So we're looking really positive right now. I'm definitely going to shield this up because I'm fully expecting something at the back to be weak to Swampert. It ends up being a Lucario. Perfect. I think he was trying to catch the Hydro Cannon. Even Hydro Cannon would have come close to taking it out because it's so glassy. But I don't want to take any chances because those counters are really adding up. So I'm just going to go straight Earthquake and take it out. And then out comes Swampert and I'm able to get to this Hydro Cannon. So this is going to be GG's. That Swampert had a lot of energy, so I don't know why he didn't throw. But even if he did, I probably could have shielded. And like I said, I win CMP in most occasions, but we had the slight energy advantage as well. And like you saw there, literally, I mean, you had Articuno, Swampert, and Lucario. I mean, a little bit of Articuno and then a full health Swampert and Lucario with no shields, and Swampert completely swept in that game there. That's just how dangerous Swampert can be. Although sometimes they could have a grass type in the bag, and that could be really anticlimactic. But for the most part, it still works. So with the Scizor, this is a really positive lead because this is probably going to be a Night Slash. If it's a Night Slash, it's great because we resist the Night Slashes because of our Dark typing. And the Dark Pulse is going to do a significant amount of damage to Scizor. Now, Scizor isn't the most tanky Pokemon. It is a Steel type, but ironic that it's not that tanky. So they make a switch into Poliwrath. I'm going to go straight Sludge Wave because Dark Pulse is going to be resisted. Sludge Wave is going to be doing some heavy neutral damage if it goes unshielded. It goes shielded. Which is okay. At this point, I'm just going to let it go through. I'm expecting an Ice Punch right here because that's not going to take us out. We can probably get to a charge move. I was trying to go for the Sludge Wave, but I knew I couldn't get it in time, which is why I go straight for the Dark Pulse. And unfortunately, he doesn't shield it up, and he's got a ton of energy right now. Going to obviously bring in Giratina Alter to just soak up the energy. He's going to probably double up on the Ice Punches, which is going to be doing super effective damage, but not a whole lot because Giratina is an absolute tank. So here's the second Ice Punch coming through. like I said, for the most part, I like to save as much as possible. I try and avoid using shields on either of my two opening Pokemon. And he makes a really nice switch into Scizor and then goes for the Night Slash. That was very good play on his part, storing up some energy and then coming back and potentially hitting my Giratina. So at this point, I just take out the Scizor and come in with Swampert. I still have a very little health left on my Giratina, which I could potentially use as a third shield if need be towards endgame. Out comes Poliwrath. Now this Poliwrath is a pretty positive matchup against Swampert, but it's already down by about 50%, which means that a couple of Hydro Cannon should be enough to take it out. And I'm going to shield because if it's Dynamic Punch, it would hurt a hell of a lot. And I don't know what his Pokemon is in the back and I want to maintain some health on my Swampert. He decides to stay in this matchup, which is completely fine by him because, and he ends up shielding as well. This again clearly shows that he has something in the back which is weak to Swampert. There's a clear indication there because you wouldn't just, yeah, I know he wants to get off a charge move and everything, but still, he makes a nice switch on the charge move to Typhlosion. Now this works out perfectly because I would have had to throw the Hydro Cannon anyways. Does so much damage to Typhlosion, doesn't essentially one-shot it, but I'm going to throw another Hydro Cannon right away because I don't want to eat a Blast Burn because that's going to do a lot of damage. So I'm going to throw the Hydro Cannon right here. Out comes Poliwrath. It's going to get off a charge move, but we've got the game in the bag, right? Because we still have a little bit of Giratina left. It's Dynamic Punch, which does a whole lot of damage, but we still have a sliver of health left and take it out. So again, Swampert sweeping the endgame. Not quite as dramatic as the previous one, but I think this was still very effective nonetheless. So a pretty positive set, 3-2. Like I said, took a little while for me to get warmed up because I made quite a few key mistakes in the first opening couple of games, but we managed to come back from that as far as the first set is concerned. And let's see the ratings now. I was at 2170 odd yesterday and 2180 odd. Okay, that's okay. That's not bad. I believe this is the third set that I did today. I went 2 and 3 in my second set, but I tried a bunch of different things. Completely tried all sorts of things actually, just to try it out. But yeah, we're back with a more stable team. I decided to go in with my Great League Registeel for this one. You know, Giratina, Registeel, and Swampert is arguably the best team in Great League. Ultra League I should say, and I unfortunately don't have an Ultra League Registeel because I don't have a 100 IV one. So I just decided to try out my Great League Registeel and in this team comp and see how it works. Just see how much of a difference it makes. Obviously it is going to make a difference because 1000 CP difference is no joke. But it's a Giratina mirror right now in the first battle of the second set right here. And I'm not going to shield because, like I said, I want to save shields for my Swampert and towards endgame. That's my game plan. Just try and do as much damage as possible, hopefully draw their shields, which is the perfect situation to be in. And they're forced to throw in their charge move right here because I know I can get to another Dragon Claw if they decide to farm me down. And I'm going to come in with Registeel because we resist these Dragon Breaths. And at this point, it's all about just trying to stay in this matchup and chip away. As you can see, Flash Cannon doesn't KO because we're so low. A Flash Cannon from 1400 CP Registeel is not going to do almost nothing to a Giratina. He throws his charge move. It's not going to do a whole lot again because Registeel, even at a very low stat, is still so tanky. Out comes Charizard. Yikes. This is the hardest counter to Registeel in the game, probably. And I'm going to switch straight into Swampert right here because no point staying in that matchup. He could just technically completely farm me down. He decides to get off a charge move right here. I'm expecting this to be a Dragon Claw because it was just slightly too early to be a Blast Burn. And out comes Gengar. Now this is really interesting because Gengar, again, like we saw earlier in the video as well, but this time we have a shield advantage, right? And the energy advantage. So by the time he's even able to get off a charge move, I'm able to get to the second Hydro Cannon, which is almost going to one-shot this Gengar. I'm actually surprised they managed to survive it and get off this charge move. Absolutely going to shield it because they have a Charizard in the back. And now this is great because I can farm down this Gengar and we're halfway through to a Hydro Cannon, and this Hydro Cannon should definitely take out the Charizard. Again, Swampert taking out 2 full health Pokemon with a shield advantage. It works almost 75% of the time, I should say, unless they have something like a Sceptile or a Shiftry. Even a Venusaur, I think, is playable, as you guys will see probably sometime later in this video. But for now, moving into the second battle of the second set right here, I think that was 3 or 4 games in a row where Swampert is swept. So that's pretty clutch right there. It's actually the 4th game in a row where Swampert has swept the end game. We met with another Giratina. So The Giratina winner, apparently he's winning CMP ties. My Giratina has 14 attack. It's 14, 14, 14 in the IVs. So he's probably got a 15 attack Giratina, which is why he's winning the CMP. It's obviously a Shadow Claw variant. So, and I'm going to get off this I don't know how I beat him to the second charge move, honestly, but he decides to double shield. This is a very interesting play right here, double shielding your Giratina. So just because he double shielded, I'm not going to shield because I'll take this shield advantage, which is what Swampert would feast on towards endgame. I'm going to bring on this Scissor just to soak up whatever energy this Giratina has. It's going to be a Dragon Claw, which is going to be resisted. And I'm running Bullet Punch on my Scizor, which is going to be hitting for neutral against this Giratina. I don't know why I didn't throw the Night Slash right away. Again, this was some sort of a weird misplay from my part. I go for an Iron Head. I definitely should have gone just straight for Night Slash. I wasn't even thinking properly at the time, but luckily I don't think it cost us too much. I'm going to try and get off the next Iron Head right here, but they're going to get off a charge move absolutely fine. I'm just going to let it go because we have Swampert with 2 shields against their 2 almost full health Pokemon. So I'm going to try and build up to an Earthquake right here, and they're going to get off a charge move. I'm going to shield this up because it's time to start shielding, because I don't know what his last Pokemon is. And he tries to decide to switch into Clefable to catch the Earthquake. That was a really nice play by him. But I believe Hydro Cannons would be more energy efficient in that matchup, even though Earthquake would definitely do more damage. Because I'm going to get off the second Hydro Cannon right here. It's going to take them forever to get to a charge move. And this is perfect for me because this is in perfect Mudshot farm down range. And guess what? Even though those charms did so much damage, we have an Earthquake built up just to get it off on this Alolan Muck. And that's going to pretty much one-shot it right there. Again, absolutely perfect. I think that's the 5th game in a row where Swampert has absolutely come in super clutch. So 5th or 4th game, I'm not sure, I lost count there. But moving into the 3rd battle of the 2nd set, I believe. Again, Swampert with 2 shields is just broken basically, because the best part though is because it can get to those charge moves so quickly, it puts you so much in control of so many matches, right? I mean, I really like having Pokemon that have spammability of charge moves, and it's not just spamming out random charge moves, right? This is a community day move. Just spamming out the Hydro Cannons at such an insane rate is just unreal, to be honest. And met with the Poliwrath, pretty neutral matchup again because we both, Ice Punch is going to be hitting for super effective, but it's not going to be a whole lot. Apparently they're winning the CMP here, which is fine. So I'm going to get off a Dragon Claw. Obviously, I want to be going for Dragon Claw. It is tempting to go for the Ancient Power from time to time to occasionally get that boost because it's so much fun. But in this matchup in particular, you definitely want to be going for Dragon Claw because the Ancient Power is resisted. And also, it's a pretty terrible move in terms of the damage output. So if I want to win the switch advantage or win the lead, might as well just go straight for Dragon Claw. It's going to be pretty close though, but Giratina is so tanky that I'm going to get off another Dragon Claw right here. Definitely not going to shield this because we can survive it. Giratina is an absolute tank, like you guys can see right here. I'm going to get off a last second Dragon Claw, get this Poliwrath into the red, and they're already down a shield, so this is positive. And they try to farm me down and we get to another Dragon Claw. So this is ideal situation for me. Giratina is an absolute monster. They decide to double shield. Perfect. Absolute. This is what I love to see. And I know they've got a lot of energy. I'm just going to bring out my Scizor and just soak up this Dynamic Punch, which is going to do a hell of a lot of damage, even though it's only going to be neutral. But we have Swampert with loaded energy. They have a Registeel. So I'm just going to stay in this matchup and throw a Night Slash to just hopefully get this Registeel into Earthquake range. That is my plan here, because one Earthquake is not going to one-shot it from full health. They're going to get off a charge move. Again, not going to shield. Like I said, just save 2 shields for Swampert and see how it works. And Swampert coming through, and they make a switch into Venusaur. Now look, here's the game, right? Venusaur comes in, but Swampert with an energy and a shield advantage can beat a grass type as well. Like you can see right here, Earthquake doing so much damage, even though those Vine Whips are really adding up, doing a lot of damage. Luckily it's not Razor Leaf, because Razor Leaf would absolutely delete us instantly. And we're going to get off a Hydro Cannon right here, which is going to be finishing off this Venusaur, and we're looking great. Because the truth is, Registeel is not going to be able to do any damage with lock-ons. It's because, like you can see, it's almost doing nothing. So I can just safely shield this up, and we can outpace Registeel to its charge moves. which is a really positive situation to be in, and we can get to this Earthquake before they can get to another Flash Cannon. And this Earthquake should definitely take out the Registeel, and it does. Boom. Again, Swag. I've lost track how many games this is in a row. I mean, these are continuous games, guys. I mean, I'm not just putting together random stuff. These are consecutive games, to be honest. Actually, the first set and the third set, but these are consecutive games from the same set, basically. So Swampert, again, coming in clutch every single game. Beg your pardon. Giratina into Escavalier. This is a very positive matchup because we basically resist most of Escavalier's charge moves. It has counter, its fast move counter is double resisted, and while Ancient Power is going to be able to hit for neutral, you want to be going for Ancient Power in this match because Dragon Claw is resisted. Ancient Power is going to be neutral because it's part bug. They go for Mega Horn, which is also resisted because of our Ghost typing. They make a really nice switch into Cresselia to catch the Ancient Power, but here's what I do. I get the boost and I switch out, right? I mean, if I already clicked the switch button and clicked on Scizor. If I kind of waited for a little longer, I would have loved to stay in that matchup because the boosted Giratina is an absolute monster, but Scizor has a very positive matchup. Scizor or Scizor, I don't know. Depends on how you pronounce it. I'm going to call it Scizor. I don't know. Okay, but it has a pretty positive matchup against Cresselia because we have Night Slash, which is going to be doing super effective damage, and all of Cresselia's charge moves are going to be resisted, right, because of the steel typing. We see a little bit of lag right here. I think this is where we face the third shield glitch. My opponent gets the benefit of this. As you can see, does no damage. At this point, I'm assuming they shielded that because we don't, that's my assumption. Moonblast does an okay amount of damage, but as you can see, clearly they've still got 2 shields left, so it's clearly that third shield glitch, which is really unfortunate. I mean, that kind of issue can really cost a lot of games, but I can understand that. Again, it's okay. These issues happen. I don't want to sit here and complain too much about it. But we're still in a pretty good position. Like I said, they go for Grass Knot, which is double resisted. That's the best part about Scizor, is that it gives great protection to Swampert. It's weakness to Grass because Scizor is double resistant to Grass. Gonna get off another Night Slash, we get a shield perfect. This is what I want. I want to start burning shields before Swampert comes in. Gonna get this Giratina here to soak the charge move. Hopefully it's not Moonblast, it ends up being Grass Knot, which is perfect for me because I'm gonna be able to Shadow Claw farm this Cresselia down. Out comes Registeel. Gonna throw the Ancient Power, hoping to get a boost. You know what, honestly I should have blind switched straight away into Swampert. That's actually a mistake I made. There's no point staying in this matchup, to be honest. And they're gonna get off a Flash Cannon, which is gonna take us out from this range. And we still, again, it's all up to Swampert. 2 shield Swampert against an Escavalier and a Registeel. I think it's definitely winnable. Gonna shield this up because Focus Blast is gonna do quite a bit of damage. Ends up being a Flash Cannon bait, which is expected, I guess, because we have 2 shields. They make a really nice switch into Escavalier to catch the charge move. I was actually under the assumption that Escavalier had a lot more health than it did, so that's why I decided to mash the Earthquake. Otherwise I would have waited and then thrown the Hydro Cannon. But they made a really nice sack swap and they go for another Flash Cannon bait. That's very smart by them, but at this point I'm just going to go straight Hydro Cannons because it's going to take 3 Hydro Cannons for me to take them out and 2 Earthquakes, but they're going to have to get off basically 3 charge moves to take me out. Right? I mean, at this point they're probably going to have to get off 2 to take me out because Lock On is doing very minimal damage and we time out. So again, you see this very often, right? Every time you see a Cresselia and Registeel, etc. in matches, you're typically in most scenarios going to see timeouts because they're so bulky Pokemon. Obviously Giratina as well, because those matches kind of last forever. And again, Swampert pulling out another win. I think that was the 6th game in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully we can go 5-0 in the second set, looking great, but we'll have to wait and see. Up against the Repo Man, and I believe I stick to the same team in this one. Yes, Giratina altered into Snorlax. Very positive matchup for Snorlax because those licks are doing super effective damage, and it's not the Dragon Breath variants. I'm having Shadow Claw, which is double resisted. And Snorlax is such a tanky Pokemon that it's not, yeah, you just have to keep chunking away with Dragon Claws, hoping to try and chip away. But it's not a great, I mean, it's not as straightforward as it is for them as well, because if they're rocking Body Slam and Superpower, both those charge moves would be double resisted. And even then, generally, Body Slams, like you can see, basically do nothing because they are double resisted. They try to bait out Shield there, but I didn't give it up. At this point, I'm trying to think they're going to try and get off their second charge move, whatever it is. Ends up being an Earthquake, which we barely survive. So And we get off this ancient power. I'm just going to do this because I want that boost. Sometimes I just go for it impulsively, but we don't get the boost. Unfortunately, we give the Snorlax a bunch of energy, and I'm going to let this go through, hoping that this is a body slam because that would be resisted. Earthquake is going to be hitting for neutral because of the steel buck typing. And I'm going to try and get off this Night Slash as quickly as possible because I want this Snorlax out of here because it's doing a lot of damage. And they decided to double shield. They decided to come with their first shield, which is fine by me. I'm not going to shield, you know the drill. Not going to shield and hopefully leaves, Swampert can take care of whatever they have in the back. So, but I'm this particular scenario, I think I'm leaving too much for Swampert to do, especially because they still have a shield. And out comes Giratina. As you can see, do you see that? I couldn't switch into my Swampert. And that actually kind of ended up costing me the game to a smaller extent. I probably would have lost this game anyway, but you'll see. You'll see why that me not being able to pull out that switch and maybe save a little bit of my Scizor ended up costing me the game. So they make a switch, I believe, into Articuno. And I'm going to try and get off as many Hydro Cannons as possible before I'm debuffed. Now here's the thing, right? Because they have an Articuno in the back, me having my Scizor would have helped me to kind of use it as a potential third shield or a sack option, and also allowed me to help me clear my debuffs from these icy winds. Right now at this point I'm double debuffed and there's no way to clear it out because that's my last Pokemon. That's one of the downsides though, is that if you have only one Pokemon in the back and then you get debuffed, it's not a great situation to be in because you can't clear that and you're stuck with that debuff for the rest of the game, which is not ideal because they still have a full health Giratina in the back. And also I'm having to burn both shields in this match, which is not great. And I think we're debuffed around thrice, so it's game over anyways because Giratina as such is so tanky and Earthquake is basically going to do nothing. If at all I can get there before they can get to their charge move, which I don't. So very well played to them. I think they would have won this game anyway, but probably my win condition though was probably catch the charge move with Scizor, build up to an Earthquake and then go for 2 back-to-backs with hopefully a shield advantage, but unfortunately didn't work out. But yeah, that was really fun. I mean, day 1 of Ultra League was really fun. Obviously, couldn't do all my sets, but did about 3 of them and had a reasonable amount of success. And yeah, Swampert, in my opinion, is without question the best Ultra League Pokemon, guys. It's so clutch. It's just because it just generates energy so quickly, and it's a community Pokemon, super accessible as well. It's one of the best Pokemon to use. So I'm moving up to 2198, a slow but steady grind, and that's fine. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. I'm going to try and put out as many Ultra League content as possible in the coming days. Hopefully make it entertaining and useful for you guys to watch as well. So again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon.